Welcome to my live on Consulting Smarter, Not Harder, where we're going over systems and tools that I've actually been working on for consultants. Full complete disclosure, ConsultFlow AI is still in development and it should be available in another week or so. Also, the other tool that I'm going over is going to be the consultant onboarding app, which is going to be my first live walkthrough of it. It is not in development more. I mean, it's not like where I can announce a launch for it, but it does have a lot of things that's already built out. And the ConsultFlow AI still has a few bugs in it, but I'm still going to walk through as much as I can for now. ConsultFlow AI should be ready by the end of the month, and the consultant onboarding app should be ready shortly after that. Maybe I would say maybe February. However, if you want to still get in and be a beta tester, just let me know because I am willing to do beta testers for a short period of time. I just need to get with you. Also, right now, I'm not responding to emails. So if you need to reach out to me, please send a message to me on LinkedIn. I'm not responding to emails. Send a message to me on LinkedIn. I'm not responding for at least a week or so. If you follow me on social media, you'll probably see why. But what I want to focus on for this live is consulting applications and what I'm building out and how you can get involved. So I actually have another application that is already in, like you can enroll in it now, called the Consult Academy. That is available. I will go over that too briefly. So the Consult Academy is fully ready for you to subscribe. You can subscribe now. All of my links are actually in my link tree that is flashing on the screen here. So if you go to my link tree, you can get to any of the applications that we will be discussing on this live today. So also, for the sake of this walkthrough, I do believe that the ConsultFlow AI does have a wait list. So if you wanted to get on the wait list, all you have to do is pretty much sign in or sign up, and it'll tell you that you're on the wait list. And then if you want to be a beta tester and you sign up and I see that you're already on there, I will just grant you access once I'm ready to send out the beta testing information to you. And then also for the Consult Academy, you can actually enroll in that today. That is actively available. One of the tools that you can actually enroll in today is the IT Consulting Toolbox. That is readily available today. You can go into that tool right now and sign up today to use it. So what we're going to be focusing more so on is the tools that I'm currently developing. The IT Consulting Toolbox is already launched. The Consult Academy is already launched. You can enroll in that today. The ConsultFlow AI system is something that you can actually use to do your business development. So we're going to walk through that a little bit. And then also the next thing is our consultant onboarding app, which is still in development, but I will show you what I have came up with so far. And then I will explain to you how I developed this particular app and what the methods that I use so you can understand where it came from. So just to get started, I wanted to start with the ConsultFlow AI tool, but that is a business development tool. And if you are interested in growing and developing your business, this is the tool that you actually need to be waiting on to launch. But what I want to do first is switch over to the consultant onboarding app because I do want to talk about that a little bit because a lot of lot of people are looking to onboard users into their businesses and things of that nature. Onboarding not just users, but like people to work for them. So the onboarding app is what I actually am going to start with instead of the ConsultFlow AI, and I will leave the tools that are currently out there that's available for you to enroll. I'll leave those for last. So what I'm going to do is share the consultant onboarding tab instead of the ConsultFlow AI. So, all right. So the consultant onboarding app was actually developed using my consultant, the Consult Academy. That's how I actually initially developed this particular application. So initially, I did the Consult Academy application. So you can even tell that it was derived from this application because whenever you see the title on the actual page, it still says the Consult Academy. So I pretty much used the Consult Academy to develop the onboarding system. So with the Consult Academy, it has like the modules for learning, like a 5-step consult system. And then it has like the consultant job list. It says it's a job board, but it's really a job list of where you can go to different sites to apply for jobs. It's not a job. I wouldn't say it's a where you can. It's not like a typical job board where you can go get alerts and things of that nature. It's just like a list of different companies that hire consultants and things of that nature. But just to further explain what the consultant onboarding app is, it derived from the Consult Academy application. And some more history behind this particular application is it was also derived from the ConsultFlow application. So I will tell you a little bit of background about the ConsultFlow application. We'll get into that, but I want to just explain to you how it was developed. This application was developed. So with the ConsultFlow AI application, it has all of like the governance, AI governance compliance checks in it. So along with the Consult Academy application that I built, I also included the ConsultFlow AI governance checks into this consultant onboarding application as well. So just to give you some history on how this application was built and developed, it derived from the applications that I currently have. The Consult Academy and the ConsultFlow AI. So with the consultant onboarding application, I believe it's one other thing that it derived from as well. So if you go to my website, my business website, ashleyhughesjefferson.com, and if you go to the courses tab, so on the courses tab, you'll see a list of different courses. So in those different courses, those are courses that I created years ago. So with that being said, there is a course on there that is actually not for people to actually enroll in. It is a course for me and my particular business and my onboarding system. So that particular course information, which is just a workflow for my onboarding, this particular application was derived from that as well. So the icing consultant onboarding course that I created, as well as the ConsultFlow AI governance checks, and last but not first, it initially derived from the Consult Academy's information. So that's how it came. That's how the structure of this application came about. First, it was the Consult Academy. It was pretty much built based off the backs of that. Secondly, it included the governance checks from the ConsultFlow AI, that part of it. And then lastly, it includes my IT consulting onboarding work like system that I have currently on my website. So that's just the history of the consultant onboarding application. So now that you have the history, what I'm about to do is log into it. It is not fully developed yet. However, there's a lot of things on here that is developed that you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and try to demonstrate some of them. So without further ado, let me get logged in. Okay, so as you can see, this is the inside of the application. I'm the admin, so this is the admin dashboard that you'll see if you are an admin, but you're not an admin, so you won't see that. The first tab is called engagements. So engagements are if you have a project or something that you are, hold on, just saw that my ticker stopped, so give me 1 second. Okay, so as far as the engagements goes, I'm going to walk you through how it is being developed so far. Again, there's parts of it that is not complete yet, but this is the parts that you can see. And again, if you're interested in any of these applications, the fastest way to get to it is through my link tree, which is on the ticker that's scrolling on the screen. And you can get to any one of these applications that I'm developing or any product from there. So let's just get started with a new engagement. So let's say you have a new engagement. We're going to call it the Test 6 engagement. And then with the Test 6 engagement, we're going to call it the engagement 5-1. 06. We're just going to call it this as far as the engagement ID. And then we're going to say this description is just a walkthrough of the current consultant Okay, so this is what it is. So you create the engagement by clicking on the create engagement button. Then it brings up an engagement tab. So we're going to get into the engagement tab. And here is what it looks like when you're in the actual engagement tab. So we do have audit logs on here. And let me say all types. So with us creating the engagement, it shows you the audit event that we created it. So we'll go back to the engagement. And as you can see, it shows you the engagement name, the engagement contract ID, and the description of it. It also tells you what phase of the engagement that it's in. So this is in the onboarding phase. It shows how many people's assigned to it and what documents counts that are on there. Again, if you are following this live walkthrough, this is the consultant onboarding application, which is not fully ready yet. It is almost there. I have a couple of things I need to work on, which is like the client side of it, so I can get it to link properly, but you'll see when I get to that part of it. Okay, so this particular application, once the engagement is created, you click on the engagement, and let's say you wanted to create a document. Since you want to create a document, I have a document created in here, but I do want to show you how you can create documents. Let me see if I have I think I have some on here that I can do. I want to show you how you can create a document. I mean, actually create a template for your documents. This is an actual document that I created already, but I want to show you how the template works as a part of the walkthrough. So with the new template, we're going to, let me see which one I want to do the example on. So give me 1 second. I think I want to do the communication plan. So we'll use the communication plan as an example. And it's a couple of things that you like. This is you creating your templates. So whenever you want to create a template for your onboarding process, there are a couple of things that you need to actually do in order to create your template properly. All right, let me just make sure this is sharing right. Okay, it looks like it is. All right, so there's a couple of things that you do need to do to share or create your template correctly. One of the things is, you'll see, I'm just going to show you. You'll need to create the template name. So for this example, we're going to do the communication plan. The category is, you can choose whatever you want, but these are the categories. You have agreements, proposals, reports, intake, compliance, planning in general. I just selected planning. And this is, we're going to do onboarding. Onboarding and planning. And then the description, communication plan for the engagement 6. And then, okay, so I actually have some documents that I already have. So give me a second to see if I can pull them up. Okay, so I have a communication plan in there as a template. So with that, the template was actually created. Now, what I'm about to do is show you how to use the actual template. All right, so we're going to go back to engagement 6, and then we're going to go ahead and create the document. Since we already have another template in there, we're going to try to use the template to see how it works. So this client, let's just say the client is test 6 client. And you know what I think is one step that I did not do, which there is a, so you have to have a, whenever you're creating a document, you do have to make the document a And I may actually go back and correct that because the document actually has to have, let me see if I can do it right now. I know I have to do this because, let's see. It may pop up with an error. But there's one step that whenever you create your templates, you have to make sure that you don't include, well, you have to have like a blank spot for the primary information that you need on there. I do need to bring up let me see if I can find the example that I created. Just a second. Okay, yeah, I got it. So there's one other step that I do need to show you because you have to have this in there in order for your templates to be created properly. All right, so give me a second to get that done because I'm going to walk you through the steps to do that as well. So this is like you're building your own template. So what this is for you to be able to build your own templates and not have a already pre-built out template thing in here. Okay, so I'm getting that ready for to show you, and you will be able to see what I'm referring to when I say you have to have like the template has to be like you don't have to have information already pre-filled out in it. What needs to happen is you have to have it's almost like a code where if you're building this for different clients, certain lines have to have a specific code there. So whenever you're building the template out for a new client, that it just takes the client information and puts it in the spot of the where the code is to basically tell you to what to use. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm referring to though. I just have to, I'm creating it right now so you can see it because I'm going to put it up live on here to give you an example of what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so I need to just share this example and then I'm going to recreate that document template. If it'll even allow me to share the screen, because it might not. Let me see. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Well, you know what? I might be able to paste it in here so you can see it. I think I'll do that instead so I don't have to stop sharing the tab. But you can paste this in like a document on the side. But for the purposes of this walkthrough and me not having to stop sharing tabs, I'm going to paste it in the description so you can see what I'm referring to. So let's go out of this and we're going to do that template again. And this time I'm gonna show you what I meant by it has to have the code in there. I'm gonna put it here. Okay. So this is the communication plan 7. And this is, I'm just gonna say planning, onboarding. All right, so this is the communication plan. So what I was referring to, so when you create your template, you do have to have a set of codes that will allow you to know that, hey, this is going to be for every company name, every company address, and client name, client address, client and engagement name, contract ID, and most of that information is going to be pulled from the application and what you enter in the engagement. It's also going to have the consultant name that's in there, the client representative, projects, end date, effective date. Those are all those things that you see are all like codes and like the email for this particular communication plan. That's just to give you an explanation of what I meant by that. So now I do have to take that exact same information and put it in a document so that when it's pulling from it, it's pulling from the right document to create the template for. It does not go in the description. I only did that to show you that that is the information without having to go to a different screen. Which communication thing we're on? Let me check. 7. Okay. Put this in. Okay. So what I'm about to do now is upload that description. I'm going to take that out of the box because it doesn't go there. I only did that for the purposes of showing you how the codes look, because now I'm about to put this on. So now I'm about to, hopefully this file type works, because if it doesn't, I may have to create it in a different file type. All right, so we're gonna click create template. If it errors out, I might have to do another, it looks like it created it. Okay, we'll see when we go through the process. So now I'm going back to this engagement. And then now I'm gonna go to the test engagement 6, and then I'm gonna create the document. And this time, I want to do the communication plan 7 client, and we're going to do a test client 7. Wait, 6. Test client 6, and then test 6 engagement. And now we're ready to create the actual document. So just this screen, if you take a look at this screen, this is you creating the document. And this document does require a human review, and then it won't be shared to clients until it's approved. So that's the information that's on here when you're creating the document from the template. So you must create the template first before you actually create a document. So if you don't have a document in there, it's not gonna be listed there. So now let's just create this document from that communication plan template. And now, as you can see, it's been created. Now, let's see. Now, I don't think this has all the information in here. It may be because of the file, but let me double check. Yep, I think it's because of that file. Let's see. Let me see if I can create it as a PDF. And if it makes a difference. It just might be an error, but I'm about to see. Education Plan 8. Okay, so I did create it as a different type of file because I'm not sure if this, because I didn't test this type of file on here, but we'll see if it does it or not. If not, I have to probably create it as a doc. And I can do that real quick too. Okay, still with you. I'm just trying to create this in the right document format so you can see what it's supposed to do. Um, okay, so I think I'm going to do that instead. Because the reason that I'm redoing it, because I wanted to, hold on. Let's see if it'll let me do this. It's asking me to upload a new version. Let me see. Hold on. Back to templates. Communication plan. Let's upload a new version and see what it if it corrects it or not. Because I'm gonna upload a put this. All right. Okay, so now let me go back to the engagement and let me see if I can do it now. Because this is the one that I said I'm not going to do because it doesn't have all the information, if you can see that. So I'm gonna have to go back to the engagement, go back to test this. What I did was I replaced it, replaced I replaced the document to see if it's gonna do it properly. No, it's a bug basically. But I can show you what it's supposed to do with something that I already created. So let me go to the approvals. Preview document. This is not how I want this document to look. Let me go to a previous one. This is how I want the document to look on this end. So I have to go in and fix the whatever the issue is, because this is the text version of a pre-approval template that you create whenever you're creating your documents. This is how it should look. So to go back to this is why I'm telling you this is not fully complete. But this is how it's supposed to work when it comes to this, but I'll go to one that I know works. Let me just create this, and then let me do the consultant agreement, and we're going to do all right, so you see how that actually worked. So there is a bug somewhere in the creating the template for other documents, so I have to fix that. But this is how it's supposed to bring up the information based on what was created in the template for the consultant agreement. So now, if you want to, you cannot edit it. That's another bug. But the next step of it is to submit it for approval. So when you click on submit for approval, it's going to approval and it goes to this tab here. So the approvals are here. And then the last one that we approved will need to approve is here. So you do want to preview it again just to make sure it includes what you need, like the other one didn't, so we could not move forward with it. So this one has what we need. So you click approve, and then now you have an approved draft agreement, and it shows you approved here. And then you can come back here into where the link that's next to the approval, which is right here under approval history, and it takes you back to the consultant agreement draft, where now it's ready for the client to be able to sign the document. So this has not been implemented just yet. This also is a bug too, because it's still generating final documents. It's not supposed to take long to generate that. So what is supposed to happen next here is after it is approved, you're supposed to send this to the client. Well, actually, you sign it first, and then you send it to the client so they can do it. Let me just test and see if this is working. Okay, so we're testing this signature part and this is for the consultant. And then you agree to the intent, and then once it's signed, yep, it's still a bug. There's a bug on here. So what is supposed to happen here is you're supposed to be able to share with the client, and then it goes to the client so they can sign their part of the agreement. Actually, it's vice versa. You share with the client, they actually sign their part of the agreement, and then you come back and sign it. This is why I'm telling you this product is still in development. It is not finished yet, but I just wanted to show you where we are. So that is what the process is supposed to be. So after you share with the client is signed, and then it comes back to you. So those parts are in development, but let me show you how you even link a client. So on here, you see that it shows you your approved documents, if there's any deliverables, and then the team. So if you need to assign access to a team, you need to assign it through this manner. Let's say, I'm going to do my email. Okay, so you say you want to assign this team member to this. So you add the email in there. And it's supposed to give them access to this when they sign up. Now, this is the part that I was telling you is still in development. And let me go to, I might have to, let me see if I can do this real quick. This is the part that's not for, working yet either. So whenever you invite a client, so the client is supposed to be able to, let's go to the logs real quick. So these are the logs or whatever of audit of what we're doing. So every time something is done, it's going to put an audit on here. So now we have the client sign up. Let me just test because this part is not working. So I have to make sure to get this working. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to be on the client side. It's actually not what it's supposed to be, but this is not working like it should. I have a couple of updates to make to this. So what it's supposed to do is the client can find their engagement in here. It's not working, so you won't be able to do anything with this yet. That's why it's just a walkthrough of what we have available. But what is supposed to happen is when the client signs up, they see their view of the engagement that they're assigned to. But this is currently not working, so it won't work. All right. All right, so now back into the regular engagement. That is how that part is supposed to work, but it's not ready for that step. Okay, messages. Okay, so this also is like how you can communicate within the application. Here is some analytics showing the onboarding pipeline, the engagements by phase, the status, approvals, and things of that nature. That's just giving you some analytics of it. This is the approval tab that we talked about a little bit. That still needs to be updated. This is something else. Let me see. I will explain that a little bit later in my next walkthrough. But for the most part, I did want to show you there's also notifications in here, engagement, templates, and I think that's it. But that's so far what we have built out. And that's actually, as far as the consultant onboarding application, that's all we have so far that's built out for this. It's still in development. It's probably not going to be ready to like next month sometime. But without further ado, let's move on. Let's move on to the ConsultFlow application. But yeah, the consultant onboarding application, I think once it's ready, it's going to be really streamlining an onboarding process. But it's a lot of bugs that I have to work out, especially when it comes to creating the templates. One of the templates I did get down properly so that it does create it. I just have to update like the flow for whenever you're pushing documents to your clients and whenever they're being assigned to engagements. Those parts are not fully functioning properly, but this walkthrough is just to show you where we are so far in the process. But what I really want to show you is his ConsultFlow AI if you're into business development. So we're going to start there next. All right, so we're on the ConsultFlow AI. I am let me do this because I do need to create a couple of tests in here. So, you know what? It might let me just do it live. Let me just do it live and see if it. Yeah, I'll do it live so that you can see. All right, so let me sign in. Where is the? Let me make sure I'm on the right tab. Hold on. So okay, okay, I'm on the right tab. So I just need to sign in. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in, but I'll give you a brief overview really quickly. So this ConsultFlow AI application is for people that are just trying to develop their business and they're doing their outreaches to businesses if you're a business to business. Now, this ConsultFlow AI has been developed specifically for business to business, but maybe like in a future release or update, we may be able to do something for consumer to business or business to consumer, should I say. But it's a governed workflow for business development. This is pretty much, it's almost ready. I just have to put in some fixes for a couple of different things that I noticed was not correct. But for the most part, this particular application, again, is for business development. And also, there's another part of it that I do need to update. But it's almost ready. I'm doing a walkthrough of what we have available so far. So let me just get ready to sign in. So we're going to go ahead and sign in. But first, if you wanted to join the wait list for this, you can just click on the sign up part, enter your name, email, password, and click on join the wait list. It's going to show you, or actually, you're going to agree to some terms first, and then it's going to show you what's available on the wait list. So you'll be inside of it to just see what is happening. Not necessarily, you won't have access to use the tool yet because it's still in development. It's almost ready though. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So now that I'm signed in, you're going to see how this actually looks when you're signed in. All right, so when you're signed in, you're going to see dashboard. Is going to have your total leads, it's going to have your pending messages, won deals, and things of that nature. So to get started, the quick actions is on the right. You have the recent activity on your left, and then you're going to have the discovered leads part, and we're going to get started there just as an example. I'm going to do a few tests in here just to show you how this works. So we do have where you can do a CSV upload of your leads and work them that way, but they have to be entered in a specific way. And it does show you here that how they actually have to be entered in. Usually it wants you using this format. So you have to have it in that format for it to work. This does have a couple of bugs that I need to work out because I tried it. And although it put everything in there, it didn't put it in there like properly, like the fields weren't aligned for some odd reason. But the manual entry definitely works for sure. So with the manual entry, I'm going to do maybe like 4 or 5 tests just to show you. Okay. So these are just tests. You know what? I always do that. Put this in the wrong spot. But this goes for the email, and this goes for their name. Just one person. And then we're going to do for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna see if I can put my business name in here. I mean business number. So I'm gonna put my business number in here. Just to see if it allows me to demonstrate what I need to show you all. And I'm gonna just put it in there one time. The rest of them, I'm not gonna put it in there. So add to import list. We're gonna do one other one. Well, actually, 3 more. Let me do test. All right. And then I'm not going to put my number in again because I'm going to use the one that has my number for the demonstration purpose. So this is the second one. We're going to add to import list. I'm going to do 3 more. Okay. And we're going to do all right. So all right. This is just for the test and demonstration purposes. So I am going to do 2 more. So bear with me to put this in because you do want to see this. Test 34 company. Let's say cybersecurity. Because I was going to do this out without screen sharing. I'm just showing you now with screen sharing, so you know how to work this whenever you sign up. So all right, so we are going to do one more. Let me see. I say 25, I think. Okay, add to import. So that's 4. We got 1 more, and then we can go start looking at the demonstration of it. Okay, we did AI, exponential technology, cybersecurity. What other industry do I want to do? Let's do business development. All right. All right, so I think we're pretty much done with these examples. Or test examples so I can show you how this works. So the last thing, you can put notes in here, like testing, walk through, or ConsultFlow AI. Okay. So you can put notes in here if you want, and then add to import. So these are 5 test leads that we're testing just to show you how this works. After these leads are in here, you can do them one at a time. You can do however many you want. But after they're done, you do need to click add to pipeline. Now remember this function, add to pipeline. So we're adding 5 to the pipeline, and these are just tests for demonstration purposes. So once we add this to the pipeline, this should add it to the pipeline, but it does more than just add it to the pipeline. That's why it's taking a minute to do it. But once it's done, you will see. But it's almost there. Just give it some time. And then while we're waiting on it to do its thing there, I do want to redirect you back to, if you wanted to sign up for the waitlist for the ConsultFlow AI, you can go to my link tree. And the link tree is actually in the ticker that is on the screen. It is https://link, which is LINK, tree, which is tr.ee/a Hughes-Jefferson. That's how you get to all of the applications here. All right, so let me scroll down. All right, so now you can actually see that it puts up here leads that are in my pipeline. And this particular lead is not accurate. So let me move it to another phase. 1 second. It's qualified. So that's how you move it to a different phase. The rest of this is accurate. So next, what we're going to do is go to where the outbox is. So whatever you are done with a lead, this one is where the AI part of it comes in. So you go here, and for the sake of this demonstration, let me just show you what it does. Whenever you add a lead into the pipeline, it automatically creates the outreach email for you. So, and for example, it shows you this information here. 1 second. So it shows you this information here, which is an email that you will be sending out. I will show you how that works too. So it has the email listed in here. It has the name, which is from me. It has the subject. The subject is enhancing business development operations for whoever this person actually is. It should actually have either their business name or the person's name here. So it'll put the name of the person that you're reaching out to here, and then it'll put the email. So this email says, in business development, consistent, compliant, and structured engagement is key to effectively scaling client acquisition and retention, a challenge many in your field, especially within rapidly evolving tech and AI sectors, often face. IT Consultant Toolbox provides practical tools and governance-first workflows that enables consultants, operators, and small teams like yourself to deliver structured, compliant technology and AI consulting services. Our approach integrates human-in-the-loop execution, ensuring both precision and adaptability. So I believe a brief conversation, 15 minutes, could highlight how our solutions might streamline your team's operation and enhance service delivery. Would you be open to connecting sometime next week to explore this further? And then I did make an edit to this. So when you edit it, you do need to do a save. So I clicked save. So one thing I do need to tell you before we go to the next steps in this process, how did it come up with this information? So we do have a settings tab. In the settings tab, you do have a brand voice that you're creating. You put all your information in there that you want your brand voice to be. Then after you put that information in there, let me just show you. Okay, so you put your signature information and your links if you have links you want to share. And then you put your positioning statement, your value proposition, if you have NAC codes for your industry, and then you put whatever your client compliance rules are in here. So this is what I put for mine. So after you put that information in there, you do save it, and you can change this up to put whatever you are like selling or reaching out to people for. But let's go back to the outbox. So after we've read all of that and proved it looks good to us, what we do next is we do a compliance check. You can do the compliance check in the second tab, or you can do the compliance check here, which is right here. You click run compliance check, and it says all checks passed. Or you can come here and do the compliance check, and you can rerun it just to make sure it passed. But what it would say, let me just show you. Okay, so for test person 4, it should say run compliance check if you don't do it on the same page as the draft tab. Same tab as the draft tab. But let's go back to test person 5. It passed the compliance. If you want to rerun it, you can rerun it. It also tells you it passed here. And it tells you when it last checked. You do have the audit log, which tells you what is going on here. It tells you how the outreach was drafted and created and saved, and the compliance check passed. So after that, it's ready to send it. So you do want to review this again just to make sure it includes what you want it to include before you send this out. And then you can copy it if you're not doing the send automatically. You can do a copy and put it in your email and put the subject in your other email or whatever you're doing, however you're doing this. But this is a manual process to do it that way. But you want to send it, but you got to approve it first. So once you approve it, you click approve. Once it's approved, you'll see approved on the left-hand side under this person's info. And then let's test this because I had to. Okay, here we go. So we do see that it opens up in your email client, and then it opens up to the person that you put in the email to. I'm not going to send this. You can edit this if you want to, but keep it the same. It's for efficiency. Now, this also, I have to change that because that's not the right email. So once you change it, you do go ahead and click send so it goes to the person that it's supposed to go to. And that's pretty much it. But I will show you the log for that. So it'll go and say open it log, and it'll say that part too. So the next thing is you're pretty much done with this lead and you just move on to the next one. But I'm not going to go through the entire process. I'm just specifically showing you how to get to the actual, get through the actual process here. So you do go to these steps to send out your outreach or whatever. But that is pretty much it for the process when you do your outreach. Now, for phone calls, let's start with this. So for a phone, actually, this is not the right one. I wanted to do the one that had my phone number in it. This one. Okay, so for phone calls, you do have to follow these governance checks and things of that nature. So you're going to click on the leads tab, you go back to it and you click on the actual tab. There's an edit button. So this is test person 1. There's an edit button if you need to edit something in here. You can do that. You can change what strategy, classification. You can change this stage that it's on, and any information is updated, and you can put notes in here. But for the sake of this, I'm just trying to show you how the phone part of it works. Oops, I need to go to the other one. So for this part, click on initiate call readiness check. Oh, you know what? I need to go back and do something real quick for this one so it can pass the check. So 1 moment. So I'm just doing this so I can get the pass part for the check. So everything's good for this. All right, check. Did I save this right? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to do the run party check. Passes. Now I'm going to check and review this. Passes. I'm going to approve. Make sure you are reading this. I'm just trying to speed through this for the sake of this demonstration. So the message is approved. Open up an email client. It does open it up. Blah, blah, blah. Read it over. Send when you're ready to send. I'm not sending this. It's just demonstration. So now I need to go back to my leads and I need to go back to person 1. And I do need to initiate the call readiness check. So I don't know if you noticed this, but for earlier, it did not show that the compliance clearance passed. So I had to go and remake sure that compliance check passed. So this also shows that there's not a pre-written consent to that exists for someone to be contacted. So what you have to do is create a one. Make sure you're really creating that so that you can, like, if you got the consent to call them, you're creating it next. And then you have to proceed the way that you need to from there. So we're going to say we're clarification requested by prospect. They need to clarify something before they buy into the program. So when you do clarify with this, you do have to understand call increase reputational execution risk and should not be used to explore volume activity, blah, blah, blah. So you got that. You approve your call readiness. All right, so you got that. You approve your call readiness, and it gives you a brief call, pre-call thing or whatever to go over before you make your call. I have to make this a little bit smaller because you can't see the bottom of the thing to close the brief once you're done reading it. So it gives you the contact information, the intent, objective, prior outreach summary, governance notes, suggested discussion, anchor. And this is not a script. It's just to make sure you're remaining in compliance, pretty much. So after you're done reading that, you close that, and then you should be able to make your call from here. Now, I do still need to update this because how it's supposed to work is you should be able to click a button to actually make the call. Let me see if it's not hidden. Okay, so no, it's not in here yet to actually make the call. But you can copy this, like if you have an application and you need to copy it and paste it in the call button, you can do that. And then, but how it's supposed to work when the update is done, you can click on a button to call and it'll open in your call application. That's how it's supposed to work. But if it doesn't, you can always click copy and paste it into your call system and just go from there. And then once you click copy, actually, hold on. I think I clicked proceed with caution. Call readiness test person, blah, 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 blah. Why this requires extra consideration. No, and it tells you why it requires extra consideration. And you do have to comply with this. Either defer or you can do written follow-up, blah, 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 blah. Then you have to do I understand, the risk, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to do, okay, so we're going to do, we actually did proceed with call and a written follow-up. That's what we clicked on. And then it closes it out. Then let's see. All right, so we're going to close this out to mark it as complete. And we did not actually make a call. So what we're going to do is we're going to put call not complete. But if you did call this person, you can put whatever the outcome was. You can put whatever notes you have, and you can put next action. So since we didn't call them, that's what I'm going to specifically put. And then you could put your reason, technical issue, testing, and next action, whatever you need to do next. Let's say continue to nurture. And then you're going to do your confidence level, and then you're going to log your outcome. And that's how the call part works. But that's a fix that I do need to put in for it to be able to click on the button to call them, or you can just simply just copy the number and paste it in there. It's up to you. Still, you can do it. All right, let me see if it has. I think that's it for now. So you have the discovery leads. You had to add the leads manual, review messages. I don't think I had anything to review from here. Configure the brand profile. We did talk about that. All right. That feature, this create proposal feature, is not something that's implemented, but you can always see your recent activity here. It does show you that. And I think that's it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a demonstration of the ConsultFlow AI system and how it works. So if you want to join the wait list, don't forget to just click on our ticker. And when you click on the ticker, it'll show you the information that you're looking for. You got to click on get started to pretty much join that, or join the wait list until this is done. It's almost ready though. Just a couple things I need to work out for it for you to actually be able to use it. So on the initial page that you probably, let me just sign back in real quick. On this initial page, which is going to be another update too. So whenever you're discovering your leads in the discovery leads part, this part of it is just a link to search businesses. However, just as a disclosure, whenever you're searching businesses, it is not something that you should be searching a lot of businesses using the state portals. Whenever you're searching a business, it's recommended if you are registered with, like, if you're a certified business and how you do teaming, it's best to use alternative methods for searching. So what I'm going to actually do is update this lead discovery page that includes the other alternative methods, but it's not implemented yet. But they will have other alternative methods like public methods. If you're government contracting teaming, it'll have the methods that they actually encourage you to actually do instead of just listing just these. So this will be updated in our, once we get to that update basically. But I did want to show you that just as a demonstration. And then what else? So next I'm going to go to, we went over the consulting onboarding app. We went over the ConsultFlow AI app. The other one I wanted to show you was, what you should already know about this one, which is the Consult Academy. I don't know if I've done a walkthrough recently for this, but the Consult Academy is available for you to sign up now. It does include 5 modules. We're about to show you it right now. This is what I remember I told you that this was derived from, well, the consultant onboarding was derived from this, along with the ConsultFlow AI tool. So when you sign in or sign up for this, this is what it looks like inside. This is available now. We have a academy called the Consult Academy. With the Consult Academy, you pretty much are tracking your progress in a consult framework. At the end of the modules that you go through, you do get a little certificate that you can have. What we do have here is a quick start checklist. We have where you can upgrade to our IT consulting toolbox if you wanted to. I will be making some updates to this, but I have too many updates that I need to make to have this update implemented first. So I will go ahead and show you something though. But these are paths that you have. You have career learning paths that you can get started on, which are just brief paths. They're not like too much information involved in it. It's just a briefing of these paths or whatever. But one module, I was clicking it really quickly. It does include a workbook so you can actively go through the steps and not just read it. So it may look short to you, but it's actually a long process. If you click on the document and download it, there is work that you do actually do in these modules. Let me try to share this first one. Okay, so this tab shows you one of the documents. If you are following along in the process, this is the document that it shows you. Let's see. This is just module 1's work that you need to complete. Module 1, so it's not just reading that specific module, you actually have work to complete in there. All right, so this is just module 1 I wanted to show you. Go back to the dashboard and it shows you your progress as you go through. Career learning paths, if you want to try those, right now they're pretty basic, but later on we may upgrade it. But what the real thing is I wanted to show you, there are some frequently asked questions here. If you wanted to have that answer, if you need to reach out to us. Now let's go to this job board. So you do have a tutorial. You do have applications on here, and you do have how you can explore different opportunities. There is a vetting. Yep, there's a vetting guide on here that you can get. These are tools that's inside of the IT consulting toolbox that if you wanted to get those, that's there. Then it Okay, so I just wanted to show you the resources. So there's a vetting resource guide. This is where you can track applications. I'll show you some of the ones that I've tracked here for myself. I haven't heard back from a lot of these people, but I have them in here. But this is how you track your applications. So you pretty much go here. You can do test platform. Role, let's say it's a recruiter. This is just for an example. And then you can put the link in there. You can put whatever date you want to follow up. And then you can put whatever you think the pay is for it a year. I'm just going to say, I don't know how much recruiters really make. So I'm just going to say 60,000. And you can put a note in here, testing. All right, so that is in here. Now you see it says test platform. You can move it to different phases. You can move it to applied, interview, offered, lost, won. So if you go to, let's go to view first and then we'll move it to something else. Well, actually, it opened somewhere else, so we can't go to view. Interesting. I definitely need to fix that. But anyway, what we're going to do is click it to, let's say we actually apply. We did not apply. This is for testing purposes. So you click on apply. It moves it to the applied section. If you click on interview, it'll move it to the interview section. And if you click on offer, it'll move it to the offer section. And then if you click on one, it'll move it to the one section. And if you click it on lost, it'll move it to the lost section. But that's how the application tracker works. So I'm going to go and put it back to new. And then while I'm in here, I'm just going to put the rest of these in lost because I haven't heard back from these people. Let's see. Lost, 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 lost. All right, where am I? Okay. So you can put all this in lost, but the companies that are on here, I'm going to show you how you get to these people, the companies to apply. So I have what is called a job list, a job board. I'm sorry, it's a consultant job board, but it helps you actively track your applications to whatever position that you're applying for. I never applied for this, and so that can stay here. So if you don't apply for something, then you're tracking it. You can keep it here, and then if you apply, you can put it here. All right, so let's go back to the dashboard, and let's go to the consultant job board. So now this is where you're searching for opportunities. You can review the quick start guide, but here's where all the opportunities lie. These are all of them. So it's actually 198. I still need to update that last one from the last time. These are all the websites in here that you can go to apply for roles. They are broken down in categories. So I have categories for AI tech work, which you can go to any one of these and apply. And for example, I'm gonna do an example just to show you. Let's do, so these are big tech. I don't think I put all of them in here, but some of them in here. Big tech vendors. I'm going to show you an example of what it does when you click on it. Contractors portal, contracting firm. So let's go to Deloitte. If you click on Deloitte link and it goes to their website where you can apply for roles. And this is the project-based roles here for talent. So you just click on search and you go from there. So that's how this works. And it's more on here, like delivering transportation, independent contractors markets, job search. So you can even get to some job search things on here, like if you want to go to Indeed. You do have to sign in, I believe, or if you want to go to LinkedIn Jobs, whatever, it's on here for you to go to and start searching. So this is a consultant job board. It's not designed for you to be getting alerts and stuff like that. It's just like a list. That's all. So that's what I wanted to show you all. And then once you're done going through the learning process, you do get a certificate. It's like a certificate of completion, and you can download it. I do think you might need to edit your name on here when it unlocks. But let me show you really quickly. And then we're pretty much wrapping this up. So again, if you're tuning in, you are tuning in to our consulting consultant walkthrough of our applications. And our applications were the consultant onboarding app, ConsultFlow AI, and we're now in the Consult Academy. This is our live session to consult smarter, not harder, where we're going over tools and systems that are part of my consulting system. And you can find these applications on my link tree that's in my ticker as well. All of my products are in my ticker, so most of them at least. So you can go there and click on them to get them. So let me see if it's downloaded. Yep, it downloaded. So let me share this tab. So at the end of your journey in the Consult Academy, you do get a certificate of completion. you can put your name in here and then print it for safekeeping. But that is how the Consult Academy works. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to this series. And you got to find out what I'm working on, how it's working, and what things I need to actually update. So if you're interested in the Consult Academy, definitely go in and take a look at that. If you are interested in upgrading to our IT consulting toolbox, you can upgrade from here. It does give you information regarding the IT consulting toolbox. I won't go over this because I have a whole video on the IT consulting toolbox in 2 parts. So you can check out my YouTube channel to get that information. But if you're interested in signing up for the IT consulting toolbox, all of that information is in my link tree for each of the services that I'm offering right now. Also, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I did make a post. If you are interested in buying into any one of these applications, that is open for discussion as well. Here is the IT Consulting Toolbox page where I will not go into this, but I just wanted to bring it up for the purposes of telling you where it's located and where you can find out more information about it. But that is it. That is all for this episode where we discussed live consulting tools and systems that you, as a consultant, can use to consult smarter, not harder. Tools and systems are available at https://link tree, which is tr.ee/a Hughes-Jefferson. And also, you can see that I have a new book that's available on Amazon. You can get that as well. Please look at the link that's in the ticker that's scrolling by. But I'm going to wrap this up here. The video will be saved on my YouTube channel, and it'll also be on my LinkedIn as well for you to go back and review it if you did not have a chance to actually view it live. But again, reach out to me via LinkedIn. Comment if you have any questions. I'm actually not answering any emails for the rest of the week. Please do not email me. And follow me on social media, my YouTube channels. I have 2. One is Tech Money Diaries. The other one is just Ashley Hughes-Jefferson. Please subscribe for more information where we will bring you different things in tech. There is one other application, which is called the Tech, what is this application? Tech Money Digest. Tech Money Digest is something that I actually came up with. Let me see if I can get to it from here. If I'm not, then I'll have to make another video for that. I'll actually make another video for that and talk about it. Let's do that. So I'll make another separate video to talk about my Tech Money Diaries, Tech Money Digest platform. But until further, in like videos that I create, I will talk to you later. And hopefully I will see you in one of my products and services. So if you want to support now, go enroll in the Consult Academy. Once the Consult Academy is completed for you, I say if you want to do business-to-business consultant, sign up for the waitlist for the ConsultFlow AI application. If you just want to reach out to other businesses that are not available in the consultant job board that's in the Consult Academy, definitely do the ConsultFlow AI. But if you want to reach out to those companies that are in the Consult Academy, sign up for that today. You do have a lot of opportunities that's available for you to be successful. And especially also if you're trying to collaborate with other businesses, that's how the ConsultFlow AI comes in. So you can reach out to those businesses and try to develop a partnership or create some type of relationship to grow your business. But I'm not going to go on for too much more longer because we've been on here an hour and 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me through LinkedIn, and we'll be more than happy to answer the questions. Until our next video, thank you all for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.